Hello, my name is Marcela Nova and this is my video presentation on the Popol Vuh. So what is the Popol Vuh? This is a series of written texts or scriptures in a book that belong to the Mayan culture or the Mayan people which inhabited Guatemala, much of Mexico, and other parts of Central and South America. This scripture contains much of the Mayan people's history, mythology, and legends, many of which are still recognized today. So my personal favorite story that was mentioned was the one about the hero twins tricking Seven Macaw. So in the story, there's this character, Seven Macaw, who is very beautiful and extremely arrogant and flamboyant and very, very selfish. He thought he was the sun for the people. He thought he was everything, all that. And so in the story, the hero twins try to get fruit from his tree, and he gets angry at that and gets shot in the mouth by one of them, by what seemed to be a much earlier form of a gun. And in that process, he gets like a really uncomfortable jaw, his teeth hurt, his mouth hurts, etc., etc. And he also takes one of the twins' arms during this part of the story. So they leave and seek help from these two elder folk who seem like they could be grandparents, and basically they ask them for their help to trick this character, to trick Seven Macaw and get the arm back, and also simply like defeat him overall, get some fruit as well from his beloved tree. And so they go to him and trick him, and while he thinks that they are helping him with his jaw pain, really they are removing his teeth and replacing it with soft corn, as well as taking his beloved jeweled eyes. And so they defeat him overall. And this story is compared to the story in the Bible of Lucifer getting taken down, and evil taken down in general, which I think seems pretty accurate in the sense that every culture and every religion has some version of traits that are seen as negative, such as arrogance, vanity, etc. That must be taken down by an opposing righteous force. So I did really enjoy the story. Was it hard to understand? A little bit, I will admit, while reading the actual text. Was somewhat confusing, especially because of all the different names that are in an entirely different language that can be a little challenging to read. So it did help to watch the documentary beforehand and during. Is this text relevant? I would say absolutely relevant, even though many of the texts inside the book are not necessarily real, such as stories of creation or Seven Macaw or the hero twins, simply because they're very clearly mythology and many aspects of them do not make sense. I am a very big believer of the phrase, "He who does not know history is condemned to repeat it," and they serve a great purpose by showing some of those lessons, such as not encouraging or discouraging those negative traits, such as arrogance, selfishness, vanity. And not only do they show these lessons, but they also teach what a certain group of people believed in and what they might have been like, what their daily lives may have looked like. Teaches us about their history. Obviously, a book like the Bible or the Quran is seen by most as much more important because it is more people deem it as truth, as it is, a very relevant and a very important religious books, both of them and many others. But taking the religion outside of it, the Bible is still very big on Hebrew and Jewish history, and I think that that is just as important as somebody else's history from another part of the world, even though it may not be seen in the same light and the same religious undertones. So I do think it is very important, especially considering how old it is. We can see how much these people and how much these scriptures have influenced other cultures, and how they still influence us today. So that is the Popol Vuh. Goodbye.